woke up this morning. I woke up this morning. No, but I did wake up this morning. That's why I'm here. I woke up this morning. I made myself some coffee, which I have a little bit left. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a little coffee routine video. Would love to do that. But I would only do it if there's people out there that love coffee. Don't want to subject you to coffee content if you don't love coffee. So it's currently 6:51 and I woke up and I was like, let me make coffee. Went on YouTube for a little bit, and I was like, let me just go sit down and like record. And it's really cool to have this feeling, right? Because as I think I mentioned this in my other video, but like as we get older, like we tend to maybe resist these like little impulses, these like baby impulses to like do really random things that don't really fit. Right? Like for example, like I work as a product manager / project manager, so I have a number of clients that I work with, building software applications alongside really talented engineers. So we kind of partner up and deliver what we can for our clients. And sometimes when I have random ideas, I'm like, where am I going to do this? Like, it doesn't really fit with the theme of my life at the moment, right? Because it doesn't necessarily fit into the bucket of like client work, or it doesn't really fit into the bucket of I don't know, whatever other buckets I have going on in my life. And I think a lot of the times, like, because we don't see that direct correlation between like my job and like a passion that doesn't have to do anything with my job, like if you work in tech, but you have a really big interest in fishing for some reason. Just kidding, not for some reason. I know fishing's really cool for some people. Not me, but you out there, I support you. And because those are such two different areas of interest, I think we tend to ignore. We're like, I'm not gonna make time for it. I'm already tired. I think for me, this morning I was just like, okay, I can either start working or I can jot down some thoughts, ideas that I've been having, which I actually use this application called Linear. And it's like a project management tool. So I'm actually showing it on my screen right now because honestly, my ideas are your ideas. Like, we're all in this. I keep this little High School Musical song is stuck in my little head. We're all in this together. So I don't really mind sharing this, but a lot of the things that I have on here are just ideas, right? They're just things that like I want to work on. Maybe I will never work on, but I think there's power in getting these things out of your head and onto, physical paper, a notes app, something like this, where it's more of a project management type to-do list, whatever it is, like whatever works for you on your brain. And what I wanted to do today was actually pick two different things, right, and talk through them and do them and build them in front of you. Let's get into this. So today's what I'm gonna work on, probably for the rest of this week, are two things. One, I'm building out this tattoo artist directory, which I will actually show you all this right now, and I can kind of tell you guys a little bit about the problem that I'm trying to solve. So I have a number of tattoos, some on my hand, some on my arms, and every time I want to find a tattoo artist, because I'm like, I get inspired and I'm like, ooh, I want to get 222, like just those numbers somewhere on my body. Usually what I have to do is like, okay, go on Google, and I'll actually show you guys what I do. It's just kind of funny. So I'll go on Google, right, like this, and then I'll be like recently, actually, here's my search history. That's funny. Recently I went to Lisbon. So what I did was like, okay, tattoo Lisbon Instagram. So this is how I'll do it. I'll go I'll go to each one, not each one, but like I'll try to click on that, a good number of them, and I will just look at their work, and I'll be like, okay, this is some more like fine line stuff and um, really cool shading. Can't really open it, but cool shading. They're located in Lisbon. Looks like I have to email them to book. Cool. And then I'll just keep doing this for, a bunch of them until I find a style that I like. So, for example, a sparrow actually looks really cool. But if I liked this sparrow, I'd be like, okay, cool. I want to reach out to them, see if they have availability. DM for appointments. Cool. So then I would, go ahead and message them and set something up. That part's fine. I think the part that's a little bit tedious is like I have an idea of like a tattoo that I want, a style that I want. How do I find a curated set of artists that meet that, right? And I feel like it feels probably like a very small problem, and it most likely is. But if I can save myself a couple of minutes, probably 30 minutes, trying to find an artist that I like, or multiple, maybe I want to find 5. That way I can reach out to 5, similar to Rover, reach out to 5 sitters, see who has availability, who's interested in doing this work. Right. So that's currently like my problem. And what I wanted to do was, what I started doing was building out a directory, which I don't know if I've built a directory before, like for myself. Actually, no, yeah, I have. I think I did like a job directory. What did I do? I did a directory like 2019. I think I did like I think it was a jobs directory. Oh, I did a jobs directory. I did a directory of tech, people of color in tech. When I lived in Indianapolis, and I had like a site where folks could come in and like, just find local tech folks from different backgrounds and reach out to them for like speaking gigs and things like that. So I have done a directory before. This is my first time, I think, building a directory using softr, which not sponsored by softr, obviously. This is my first time using it. So we'll see how it goes. So softr basically is a no-code tool where you can hook up some sort of database. You can do, so far I think I've seen, you can do Airtable. I think you can do Supabase. And you can do Google Sheets. You can do things through an API, I believe, as well. So what I'm doing is that I have a Google Sheet, which I have here, with usernames of tattoo artists, locations, specialization I don't have. These 2 I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that information. Their Instagram profiles, these images. So these images I got from this app called Appify. And Appify basically, it's kind of cool. It actually helps you scrape, not helps you, literally scrapes things for you. So you can see here, if I go to runs and I go to Instagram hashtag scraper, I think is where I had it. Where is it? Issues, save task. No, runs, builds, runs, actor. Yeah, this one. Okay, so basically it went out to Instagram, and using my request, which I don't know where it is right now, but anyways, using my request, it went out. I think I just gave it like a couple hashtags, went out and like found a number of tattoo artist profiles. Actually, if I go to actor, yeah, so right here. So went out using these hashtags that I gave it. It scraped the posts for these hashtags, and then it gave me a number of posts per hashtag, which is cool. In the before times, I would have had to do this manually, which I think I'm still going to have to do some of this manually, honestly, because I think I just haven't like wrapped my head around all the pieces yet. So I'm just taking it one little chew at a time. So this is where I'm currently at. So I have how many people here? 65 artists. I think that's good for now. I think the one thing I'm struggling with is that like I don't have a theme around these artists. Like ideally, maybe all these artists would be located in the US, for example. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I can rerun So it's basically, let's see. So if I come back here, these are things that I'm missing, which I have to add. But basically, I wonder. Here's this question here. Do I want to focus on alter? Okay, so, I guess like subsets I can start with, because really what I want to do is like I just want to have like an initial subset that I can use, and I'm in the U.S., so that's actually going to be better. Subset I start with, sure. So U.S. based, let's say that, and maybe we pick a specialization, like maybe we only focus on fine line and oh my gosh, it's that my tattoos are all over the place, so it's really hard. But maybe I don't have to focus too much on that. Let's just do fine line. Let's keep it simple. Let's say US based tattoo artists who focus on fine line work, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I want. US based artists, fine line. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with these two like boundaries. So glad we're doing this. We're gonna delete all of this. Actually, no, not really. We're going to delete the records. Bye. See you later. And we're going to I guess we don't need these. I think I do want to focus it on women tattoo artists though. So let's say like female women, like women owned, black owned, etc. Okay, let's see. So we have Girls with Ink, female tattoo artists. I don't know exactly. Ooh, let me see. Fine line tattoo artist. I just want to get some inspiration for the hashtags. And kind of fun, I did end up using ChatGPT the other day here, and it kind of gave me some ideas, because I was like, oh, it'd be cool to find like sliding scale tattoo artists as well, just because I know trying to make things a bit more financially inclusive, and yeah, so it gave me some of these ones for LGBT friendly women tattoo. Maybe I'll do this. Women tattoo artists. Women tattoo artists. I just sometimes like even using like the words female and women, like I don't know, because it's so like I get it, but it's also like the labels themselves, like how many people am I leaving out by using girls, female, women, you know what I mean? So maybe I'm overthinking it though. Let's just do these two. I don't think it's gonna give me everything I need for the boundaries that I was looking for, but it's a start. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this, and while I work on this, I'm actually gonna talk about a topic called are you stuck working in the full-time work cycle? And I think I'm actually excited to talk about this because because I don't work full-time, and so hopefully I can share some thoughts and things about not working full-time and working. I currently work part-time, which 100% grateful for, and it's honestly a privilege to be able to work part-time, honestly, because I know a lot of people want to work part-time and they want to work less and they can't, and I feel like if I can help make that more accessible, like I want to do that. Yeah, if you need help in doing that, like please reach out. Like I'll leave my information and everything down below. Like I would love to see if I can help in any way, or maybe we can like create a little community and kind of work on that together. So yeah, I guess a little backstory while I'm doing this. A little backstory just around my full-time journey. Just for context, I do work in the tech industry, and when I say tech, I specifically work in the agency, software agency world at the moment. have not always worked in this industry. It's been kind of a journey on its own to even get here. But yeah, I went to school for psychology, and while I was in school, I really thought I wanted to become a surgeon. I didn't actually want to. I think it was my mom. I don't want to blame it on her because I could have said no. I could have spoken up and all that. So, um, I feel like I wanted to make my parents happy. So I think me pursuing something in the healthcare industry just made sense. And I didn't really question it, right? Because I was sort of like doing a lot of volunteer work during that time in the health industry, um, and yeah, like I didn't I didn't question it at all, which is interesting. So I ended up going to school for biology, and then quickly was like, we're not doing this. So glad I had that know-how or like gut feeling and I followed it. Hello, where are the hashtags here, guys? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to log in now, aren't I? Okay, it's fine. And when I was doing all of that, I started working as a behavioral therapist. So I was working with kids who were diagnosed with autism, and just supporting them with their social motor skills. So when you think about like, how when you grow up, right, you learn how to pick up a spoon and like, maybe scoop up some cereal and bring it to your mouth, chew, put the spoon back, do like repeat that motion. A lot of kids that have autism don't necessarily have the ability to do that, because their developmental, cycle is a little bit different, and they just do things a little bit differently than some of us other humans out here, and that is okay. And like, I think it really taught me that though we're all, you know maybe we look similar from the outside, a lot of us are different with the way that we see the world, right? And I think that's what makes a lot of us special, in terms of like how we think about the world, how we see the world. And as I was doing that work, though it was super fulfilling, I also didn't see that as like my life's mission, life's purpose, I guess. I really enjoy working with kids. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity to mentor, help, and like provide accessible resources for kids, especially those that are coming from environments where they don't have the availability to grow and to build confidence and to see what is possible, right? To no fault of their own. That's just how things are. And so I I really loved working with the kids that I did work with. Some of them focused more on motor skills, others were more verbal. So I was kind of just supporting them in that way. But it kind of got to the point where I feel like I was just kind of like doing the work just because, right? I wasn't looking forward to it. I don't know if it's because it was so taxing on me emotionally that I just kind of just started to just like not love it anymore. So what I ended up doing after that, I was kind of wrapping up with my university years, and maybe black. No, I don't know if I like that. I was wrapping up with some of my university work, and while I was doing that, came across Codecademy. And if you guys don't know, Codecademy is, I think they're still around, but very dope like website you could use back then, and still now probably, to learn how to code. So that's what I did. I learned how to build things, and it was amazing. I was like, what the hell is this magic? This sorcery. And that was like such a cool experience because I had never felt that before. Though I had always loved technology, I always loved, I was like technical support for my family, all that. Um, I had never really thought about like, you know, this Yelp app that I have, the Yelp app that I have on my phone. Like, how does this actually work? Like, who built this? How is this here? Never really like thought about that. I just was like a fan of reviewing applications, and if you guys want, I can always post like some of my really old videos down below. And so kind of like fast forward, like did that for a year, just like I was working 2 jobs at the time, and going to school, and I would basically just use my evenings to learn. And I did that for a while until I got to the point where I was like, okay, I feel pretty confident in like some of my skills in terms of like HTML, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, deploying applications on GitHub. Like, felt comfortable enough to at least talk about it, get a project running. I knew deep down I wasn't like the best developer though. Like, I didn't want to be, if that makes sense. Like, even to this day, like, I know that software engineers make really good money, and I know that, I work with a lot of them, and they're all great. But I've never had that like gut innate feeling that like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Though I've been tempted, because we're all human here. I've been tempted to like, learn. And I have kind of gone back and tried to like restart that interest in coding. And I think for me, like, coding gave me the ability to get to where I am today. I don't think it's necessarily like where I want to be forever. And I think just realizing that and being honest with myself around that is, really helped me just like appreciate it for what it was, and like not put too much stock in like, damn, I should really go back and like, learn more about coding, which I mean, I honestly do like literally every day. Maybe if I do, let's say New York, every day, it doesn't necessarily have to be like my career, right? So all that to say, follow your dreams, try new things. Oh, perfect. Look at this. Thank you so much. ISIL tattoo. So honestly, maybe focusing on New York wouldn't be a bad idea. But I'm not even in New York. What do you guys think? Like, should I go even more? Like, maybe I will. Maybe actually that's a good idea. Let's do New York. Maybe I'll go to New York. I don't know. I actually like this a lot. Okay, let's do that. I feel like that's a little less stressful for me. Oh wait, actually, let's keep that and let's add. So, got my first, got like a web assistant role, which it was like customer support web assistant back when like web assistant webmaster things were a thing. And got the opportunity to work with like this really cool dude. His name was Felix, and he was like this like PHP master. It was super cool. And I was like, what is PHP? But I learned a lot from him. I built a lot of confidence working with him, and he kind of just took me under his wing, honestly. And honestly, I should probably reach out to him and be like, yo, forever thankful. But it's crazy to think back, like, little experiences like that make such a difference in our lives. Like, if you think back to that one person that like believed in you, I have so many of those, and I think about them all the time, because like I would not be here in this current environment probably if it wasn't for these people that like just stuck their head out for me, or their neck out for me. And I trusted them, and I followed, and I allowed, I surrendered, right? Just a lot of that without feeling like doubt or shame, and just being like, yeah, like I trust you. And I feel like maybe that's my maybe that's my superpower. It's just like just going, right? Um, so let's actually run this before I keep going and don't run this at all. So right now I have these 6 hashtags and made the decision just 2 seconds ago that we're just going to focus on New York for some reason. Which honestly I think is a good idea because New York has a lot of tattoo artists. I actually got my first tattoo in New York. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, beautiful. So we're gonna just click here, save and start, and it's gonna give me, I guess, 21 posts per hashtag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 hashtags. So that should be a pretty good amount of results. So we'll do that. And then we'll continue our discussion. Working at an e-commerce, like fashion clothing store. Learned a lot about Shopify during that time. If you guys are Shopify people, let me know. And then that kind of gave me the opportunity to then work at a different e-commerce company centered around the wine industry, which was kind of fun. We sold wines online and did content around wines, which is crazy to think back. I did that, but that was fun. I think I was getting paid like 15 an hour working at that spot specifically. At the web assistant role, I think I was getting paid like 8 maybe or 7. I think it started at like 7 something and then I went up to like 8 or 9 before I left. And after that I ended up finding another company, another agency that I worked at, actually in the adult industry, which is something I don't necessarily really share because I don't know, I feel like people have like a really bad stigma around the adult industry. And I was working on the tech team for this company. So I was not involved in any of the content, obviously, but I was on the tech team, right? I was supporting with, the website and supporting with building new features for customers to buy, some of our membership packages, and ensuring, downloads were working, and ensuring that like streaming wasn't, all funky for folks that were visiting our site. So that company really gave me such an opportunity to grow. And I think back to that time a lot. I had a really awesome manager, CTO at the time, and he, again, just took me under his wing. And he wasn't the last person to do that. I worked at another company as a product manager, and the CPO there, like she just let me like experiment and try and fail. And fast forward, did all that from like for a number of years, probably from like when I was like 2021 all the way through now, basically. But yeah, did a lot of just product manager work, working in the ed tech space for a number of years on different software products there. And then I got into freelancing, so I started using Upwork, which right now it's like super oversaturated. And I also was on Fiverr. Fiverr was a really big one for me before 2020 specifically, where I was getting a lot of gigs through there. And working on Upwork and Fiverr really gave me just like an ability to figure out like what I like to do. Like I've over time started to understand that like I really like being at the ground level. I enjoy being on teams where things are crazy, things are a little bit like messy and chaotic, and things aren't figured out yet, because I think that's where I can bring the most value, is like coming in, taking stock of what's going on, and then putting things into action to make our teams more efficient, deliver what customers actually are looking for, and what they'll receive the most value from. So no, all that to say, like, again, though I'm not an expert at coding, I'm not an expert at product management, I don't think I'm the best product manager. I think I do my best, and that's all I can really do. I try to learn and keep up to date on like, AI and new tools that are out there to help myself, help my team, help my engineers, help the company that I work for, right? Because I want them to succeed as well. So it's like a constant self-improvement for myself, but also for others, right? And through that, I ended up, continuing to work full time. But I started to, after I worked on my startup back in 2020, I ended up actually like leaving my full time job and just like working on my startup with some freelancing work. And I think because I had that experience, it kind of showed me that like I don't love working full time for a company, and there's nothing wrong with it. I do want to say that like this is just a personal preference for me. Like I've just found after 8-9 years of working, it's probably 9 years at this point, 9 or 10 honestly, of working in the tech industry. Like I see the same problems pretty much everywhere I go, and I personally don't think I am the best asset as a full-time employee, if that makes sense. I think I bring the most value as a consultant. I think I bring the most value as, somebody to come in and fix and resolve and set up for future team members to take on the baton, right? So with that being said, I ended up going on We Work Remotely, which actually I'll go on really quick. So after I was like, Upwork is not really my thing anymore. Neither is Fiverr. We Work Remotely was actually a huge help for me. So I'll definitely leave a link to this down below. But this was a really great way for me to find contract work. And another resource I used was Indeed, which I know hit or miss, but I actually ended up finding my current part-time role on here. And what you can do is, what I recommend to do, something you can try out is, if you're working a full-time job now, what you can do is try to find freelancing gigs, even if they're like 5-10 hours a week, and something that you enjoy, right? It doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing. Maybe you work in the transportation industry, but you really want to explore data. Maybe you're really good with numbers. You can find maybe a job as an accountant where you're just like supporting maybe the payroll team at a company a couple hours a week. And I think what happens is that each week you do this, you start to build a muscle, and you also start to build confidence in this new skill that you're developing. You start to learn new skills on top of what you already know, things that you probably wouldn't have found out otherwise. And I think what happens is that all this starts to compound, and you start to just like be more open. You start to be more open to contract work. You start to be more open to freelance work that is temporal versus like I have to be here for 5 years and to really feel like I'm making an impact. And once you start doing that, especially if you do have a full-time job, working a couple hours a week with a part-time role, what I ended up doing was that I started to shift, right? Like slowly started to shift away from full-time into part-time. So I was like full-time with freelance, then full-time with contract, like an agreed upon contract of like a year, for example. Then I did full-time to contract part-time. And then now I just do part-time contract. And then of course I'll do like consulting gigs here and there, but for the most part, I mainly just focus on one company, one client, through the agency that I work with. And I would say like the biggest thing that you can do to transition away from full-time work is like, it's gonna sound super corny, but like I know it's like part of it, it's like believing in yourself. Like nobody has this stuff figured out. First of all, it's honestly, so much of it is just trial and error. I did not know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing most of the time. But a lot of it is just like just putting yourself out there, meeting people. And I'm not saying to go out and network and do all that stuff. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not a fan. Like genuinely getting to know people that you're curious how they got to where they are, how they do what they do, what they like about what they do, what they don't like about what they do, what resources they've used to kind of like move the needle forward. And I will also caveat a lot of this to say, like, I don't have kids. I'm a single gal. I have a dog and a cat. And of course I have my own responsibilities and my own, bills and things to take care of. And I know a lot of people have other responsibilities that maybe don't allow them to have time to even consider working part-time, right? Because of the financial constraint or the time, like whatever it is. But I would say like, if the full-time sort of deal is not working for you, like you don't have to stay there. You don't have to be stuck. like we can find a way. Like if you need help thinking through any of this, like let's work together. You know what I mean? Like I don't have all the answers, but I'm down to go into the trenches like with anybody and figure it out. Like I think there is opportunity for all of us, and I think it's just a matter of being creative a lot of the time, and kind of just thinking outside of the box. And I know that's really hard to do on your own. Sometimes you need a soundboard. So yeah, please like use me as a resource, right? If I can support, I shall. So I probably talked your ear off a lot about this at this point. I think I'm gonna end it here. Next video I will focus a bit more I'll focus a bit more on continuing with my site here. A couple things that we got accomplished today. We decided we were only going to do New York, and we're only going to do Fine Line, and we'll try to keep it with like female, women, Black owned. We'll see how that goes. And then we also talked about how to go from like full-time to part-time, and we'll continue talking about this. So I'll leave a link down below to We Work Remotely, to Indeed. I'll also drop the 2 apps that I'm using for this build of this tattoo directory. So if you guys want to try to build anything on your side, would love to see it. All right. Well, if you guys have questions just about life and stuff, let me know. And thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun. All right. Catch you all in the next one. Bye.